So recently, Bethesda Game Studios has started to crack down on cheaters inside Fallout 76, and this was covered by multiple gaming news outlets and was best covered by Kotaku. This article is fairly lengthy and we're not going to read it all. I'm going to summarize it in mostly. However, there are going to be a few key parts that we're going to read, such as quotes from Bethesda and parts that I want to discuss and give you my opinion on. So the first part of the article says that in today's Inside the Vault post by Bethesda Game Studios, where they essentially keep the public informed about Fallout 76, they talked about how last week alone they fixed over 150 bugs in the game and will be continuing to add more fixes in the future. And it also talks about how Bethesda Game Studios is still working on unbalanced endgame weapons and cheating, which are probably two of the biggest issues in the gaming community or in the 76 community at this current moment in time. So the article then goes on and it has some extremely important paragraphs or some extremely important things to say, so we're going to go ahead and read those together. We want Fallout 76 to be a happy and healthy world for all players, and we know that there are concerns with players finding and abusing exploits, the company wrote. We're working hard to find, fix, and address these as they show up. The concerns Bethesda is referring to have to do with glitches that, for the greater part of December and January, made it possible for players to duplicate their items. While the doors to these loopholes have now been closed, a window to a new one has opened. Specifically, players recently discovered a developer room in the game that houses copies of every item. Bethesda said in a statement to Eurogamer earlier today that the room can only be reached on PC by using cheat programs, and that it's currently banning players found to be carrying around test items from the hidden room that aren't currently available in normal part of the game. We want you to know that we take these exploits and those abusing them very seriously, the post reads. Once identified, we work very closely with our support team to remove problem players that are abusing these exploits, whether that's the duping exploits or those using cheat apps or mods to access areas in game that are otherwise inaccessible and unintended for players in the game world. So it's clear that Bethesda Game Studios has seen the cry of the community to do something about the cheaters, and I am glad something is being done. It's clear Bethesda Game Studios is hard at work on this game, and they do want to make it the best they possibly can through updates like they have planned from the start. I personally believe that once all these duplicators, cheaters, and exploiters get banned, we will see the community cleaned up a lot, and the game will just be tremendously better without those toxic players in the community. The next couple of paragraphs of the article say that Bethesda Game Studios has not said what they're going to do about the items from the developer room that are already out in the world, but it does say they are going to fix the damage on the two-shot legendary weapon mods, and it's going to reduce the damage from 100% to 25%. And they even had a small update. As you guys could see, it says update 4:58 p.m. Inside the paragraph there is a quote, and that quote says this: the explosive legendary mod has reduced damage bonus, now adding plus 20% to the base weapon damage with explosive radius damage instead of 100%. That all but ensures two-shot explosive guns become much less important. I want to see the explosive weapons fixed because they're extremely overpowered, especially when it comes to PvP, and it's kind of unfair if you have one. The rest of the article goes on to talk about how they don't know how these changes are actually going to affect the game overall when it comes to balance inside the game. The article also mentions that high-level players have turned away from PvE to start griefing, but in my opinion and in my experience, I really don't see high-level players griefing. In fact, I usually get helped out by high-level players, believe it or not, pretty often when I run into them. The article also goes on to say that people have been asking Bethesda Game Studios to separate the game out into two sets of servers for PvE and PvP. However, Bethesda Game Studios said that they would not introduce PvE and PvE servers, I believe, when the game was announced. They talked about private servers and how they would come later, but they never talked about separate servers. I think they want to keep it that way for some reason, just to either keep it simple or keep the game balanced, so it's much easier for people to just play rather than be locked on one type of server. The article also goes on to explain how the PvP system is going to change, and that is in the last paragraph of the article, so let's go ahead and read it. Instead, Bethesda announced that an upcoming new mode for the game will basically use the existing PvP system found in the main game, but with all of the rules of engagement stripped away. It sounds basically like a mode devoted entirely to the hellscapes of Rust and other online survival games. In effect, players will have no choice between PvP Lite and hardcore PvP, but no 100% pacifist option. More information about the upcoming mode is supposed to be revealed next week. For now though, it seems like anyone looking for new endgame content free from griefing will have to wait a bit longer. In my opinion, I think we should be able to choose if we want a PvP or not, and there should be a 100% pacifist mode. That way the players who don't want a PvP don't have to. It's pretty simple. And the ability to turn PvP on and off would fix a lot of things in my opinion. Anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. I hope you did enjoy it. Let me know all your thoughts, questions, comments, concerns down below. Do you guys think this is a good idea from Bethesda Game Studios? Anyways, I love each and every single one of you. I hope to see you guys right back here in the next video. But until then, remember to stay freaky, and bye bye everybody. Thank you for watching, and I'll see y'all next time.